Training camp, the least exciting but also most exciting time of the year. It's exciting because hockey is finally happening again, but it's actually the least exciting because it's just practice. But we get excited for it because hockey's about to start. Preseason's coming up pretty soon, and yes, I am excited for this as well. Here are the 58 names that the Penguins announced their training camp roster. So let's go over the Penguins' 58 players that they named. I have them color-coded to what I think the player necessarily is. Penguins currently have two PTOs at camp right now with Brian Boyle and Matt Bartkowski. And then, of course, Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Ravis Ansons are hurt. So the Penguins' three best players are out right now. But before we get into things, I want to make a quick announcement just to, kind of update you guys on the channel because this will impact the channel as well. Over here on the on your guys' right side, my left side, I have some logos of NHL teams. And these are the cities that are currently occupied that have a beat writer or a couple in certain cities for National Hockey Now, which is the company that I'm interning with in the fall, and more specifically Pittsburgh Hockey Now under Dan Kingerski, who I'm sure many of you guys know. But that has started up in these past couple of weeks, and being able to go to training camp, rookie camp, has been awesome. And I'm excited for this season just overall. Of course, training camp in the preseason. So go check out National Hockey Now. More specifically, most of my viewers are in Pittsburgh. Go check out Pittsburgh Hockey Now if you haven't already. And yeah, you got a writer there as well with me. So I'm excited for the season. I'm rooting for stories. So let's have entertaining content. Pens. Anyways, let's go over the names on the Penguins training camp roster that I have some thoughts on. In blue, in light blue, I have fringe NHL players that are gonna probably not play every game for the Penguins. That will bounce in and up and down the lineup. In green, I have Wilkes-Barre players / young players. The Penguins' prospect pool is very limited, of course. Samuel Poulin and Nathan Legare are there. Pierre Olivier-Joseph is even a prospect anymore. We have some good goaltending prospect that we've acquired, but compared to other NHL teams, this is not a special, prospect organization. It's really why I haven't made a video on rookie camp, which I got to go to, but still, there's not much there. Samuel Poulin and Nathan Legare look good. In dark blue is players that are NHL players that will play NHL games for the most part, unless they're hurt. And then speaking of hurt, in pink, Malkin, Ansons, and Crosby are the hurt players. So, Evan Rodriguez is the first name on our list. Of course, re-signed to a one-year deal. Let me know what you guys think Rodriguez can do this season. I'm very interested in what he can perform. Will he be a center to start this year? Will he be the second-line center for this Penguins team? Crosby and Malkin are both out. Jeff Carter will be your first-line center. Is Teddy Blueger a second-line center, even on an injured team? I would prefer him in the bottom six no matter what. Is Rodriguez a center? Let me know. Drew O'Connor, fringe NHL player, only coming into his second year in the league. Maybe we can see some more improvement of him in his sophomore year. And then the big guy, Brian Boyle. He's been very intriguing so far to, watch even just on day one for the Penguins. And Boyle has, all the signs of getting signed because of what's going on with Crosby and Malkin. Now, he only played zero. He didn't only play. He played 0 games last year. He took a year off. I thought he was done in the league. We all know the story about how he had cancer. He came back. Very persistent player. He's a Masterson Award winner in 2018 or 2019. So Boyle, does he become, is he a Yannick Weber this year for the Penguins? We sign him when we need him, and then we just get rid of him. Because I don't think Boyle stays on this team when he's fully healthy. Zach Aston-Reese is I think officially an NHL player now. I'm excited to see what he can do now. Jason Zucker, hope he can have a bounce back year. Bryan Rust in his contract year, we'll see what he can do. This is the thing where I want him to have a good season because I'm a Penguins fan, but I also don't want him to have a good season so that he's not signed to a good contract. There's that little bit of things, but actually please score 60 goals. Sam Lafferty, will he play? Maybe. Will he be the fourth line center on opening night? Probably not. Will he be in the lineup opening night? Is Sam Lafferty even good enough to make it into the Penguins lineup now? Kasper Bjornqvist, I'm surprised he made it there because he has been in the Penguins organization for so long, has never played an NHL game, and he's always been an upcoming rookie, even though he's actually not very good. No offense. Samuel Poulin. Excited to see what he can do this season. I did a whole video on my prospect pyramid and what I think these rookie rookies and young players can do for the Penguins. So for more on Poulin and Legare, check out that video. But as for Poulin and Legare, I think they'll both see the NHL ice this season. I don't know if they'll become regulars necessarily, but I think they both make their debut this season at least. Brock McGinn, signed as a free agent, will be a bottom six forward. Can he play center? I'm just asking that to myself right now. We may need him to play center as an emergency basis because there's no centers on this team right now, but I think he'll start at the wing. Michael Chaput, forgot we signed him, free agency, depth, Wilkes-Barre signing. If he makes it in the lineup as the fourth line center with these injuries, I'm going to be very concerned. Nathan Legare, as I mentioned, him and Poulin I kind of think of in the same vein, except for I think Legare has a better shot at making it in the NHL as a regular first. Just saying. Phillip Hollander, who's the guy I kind of alluded to earlier. He said on day one of prospect camp that he's here to take a spot. And I'm excited for Phillip Hallander. You know, we have a bad taste in our mouth for what the McCann trade was, but we got a player out of it in Hallander who we initially had. But still, could he make an impact in the NHL this year, make his NHL debut? I think it's very likely, and I think the time that it'll happen will be on opening night or in the opening couple of weeks in the season. Do not be surprised if this guy becomes the Penguins' fourth-line center, at least to start the season. He's looked good, and I don't know. Filip Hallander, keep his name in the back of your mind. Kasperi Kapanen, Danton Heinen, Penguins wingers. How secure is Heinen, though? That was weird the way I said that. How secure is Danton Heinen's spot, really? We think of him as an NHL player, which he pretty much is an NHL player, but realistically, his contract is Wilkes-Barre eligible, I think, like you wouldn't have to retain salary if you kept him in the NHL is what I'm trying to say. So, if he busts, which I hope doesn't happen, who takes his spot? Poulin, Legare? You never know. I think we saw the Heinen signing and we're just like, oh, okay, there's your Jared McCann replacement. It's not the same player at all. So, I don't know. Heinen may not, be a confirmed bottom six player for the Pens. Jonathan Gruden, the guy that was in the Matt Murray trade. We'll see if he can become a player for the Penguins in the next couple of years. Dominik Simon's back. Yeah. Teddy Blueger, of course. Excited for him. Big season coming out of him. Felix Robert, never heard of him. No offense to him. Anthony Angelo, again, kind of in the same vein, I think, of Sam Lafferty, a fringe NHL player who I don't really think has much to him. No offense to him. Jake Guentzel, Justin Almeida, Jordy Bellerive, two prospects for the Penguins that you can't really put a big asterisk next to when you say prospect. These guys are older and they're not grade A prospects. They're Wilkes-Barre players. Jordy Bellerive's kind of interesting to me. I don't know if he has anything to him. Kind of reminds me of Teddy Blueger because Teddy Blueger spent so many years in the minors before the Penguins finally gave him a chance, and look what he's become. Maybe Jordy Bellerive is the next Teddy Blueger. I don't know. Probably not, but here's hoping. Radim Zohorna, fringe NHL'er. I don't have him in green because he's 26 now, so I think he'll definitely be a starter for an NHL player on the NHL roster when the season starts because of the injuries, but I don't know how long he lasts. I know we all love him, but we haven't seen much out of Radim Zohorna so far. Malkin, Lucas Svedkovsky, Kyle Olsen, Valtteri Puustinen, prospects for the Penguins. This Puustinen guy I've heard good things about. Jeff Carter, first-line center. Radivis Sansons, he's hurt. Jean Drog, he's a minor leaguer. I'm sorry. Sidney Crosby, he's a minor leaguer. I'm sorry. On to the defense. Cody Ceci was never replaced, so there is that, sixth defenseman that needs to be replaced here. And is it Chad Ruedel, who has been, the seventh defenseman for the past 5 years not that long, 3 years for the Penguins? Does he finally get an NHL consistent job? Let me know in the comment section down below. Taylor Fadoon, signed by the Penguins. Good for him. Whoop-de-doo. He's a Wilkes-Barre player. Mike Matheson, John Marino, Brian Dumoulin will all be top 4, top 6 defensemen for the Penguins. Mitch Reinke, no idea who he is. Josh Maniscalco, or however you say his last name. Maybe out of him. Don't see it. Matt Bartkowski, probably not. I think he's only there because he was a Pittsburgh native, but he could be a diamond in the rough. You never know. Marcus Pettersson will be an NHL defender. And here's two interesting names to me at least. Cam Lee and Will Riley. They're not the most flashy young defensemen, but I think if there's going to be a young Wilkes-Barre defender that comes up because of injuries, these guys are not making it into the lineup over a guy like Pettersson or Riikola even, or Ruedel. But if there's injuries, I could see it being Cam Lee or Will Riley. They're pretty decent. They have nice slap shots. Slap shots are nice. Juuso Riikola, what happens with him this season? I think it's his last year. Does he go back to Finland, or do the Penguins finally give him a shot? Does Mike Sullivan hate his guts or what? Mark Friedman is the other guy. So it's kind of a battle between Riikola, Ruedel, and Friedman for that last spot. Who wins it? In the comment section down below, please tell me. Kris Mercer-Ortiz, I have no idea who that is. There's my insider analysis. Kris Letang, I know that Chris. So Kris Mercer-Ortiz, Kris Letang, Chris Bigris. We know the one, and the one's important, and that's all we care about. No offense to the other two Chris's. And then Pierre Olivier-Joseph, who I think is outranked by Ruedel, Riikola, and Friedman just off of seniority and, how well that they'll play as, they'll be on the right side where Joseph's a left-sider. But if Pettersson gets traded, or if injuries happen, you need to throw this guy in the lineup because I don't see what Wilkes-Barre does for this guy anymore. He's ready. I'm excited for him, but I'm only excited for him if they freaking play him. I hope they play him. Please play him. Play him. Will you please play him? Play him. Ryan McCleary, Isaac Beliveau, and Niclas Almari. Good for them. Good Wilkes-Barre boys. Casey DeSmith and Tristan Jarry and Louis Domingue, those are your three starting goaltenders. Though now you can't have them all in net. Well, maybe after last year's playoffs we can make a deal where we can have all three of them in net. But Jarry will be your starter, DeSmith your backup, Domingue your third goaltender. Really like that Domingue signing. And then Philip Lindbergh and Alex Diorio. Lindbergh and Diorio will be your Wilkes-Barre guys. And then Tommy Napier. Okay. Hey, don't nap on Napier. He could become something. Anyways, there's your 58 players, your Kris Letang number of players on the Penguins. What's this called? The rookie camp? No, training camp. That's what it's called. Only names that I'm surprised to see here, outside of the PTOs with Boyle and Bartkowski, are some of the younger guys. Like I'm surprised Kasper Bjornqvist is still getting a shot at. But other than that, there's no names that I'm surprised to see here. We'll see what cuts do to these guys. The guys in green are likely the first to go, except for Samuel Poulin, Nathan Legare, who I hope make the team, along with Philip Hallander and Pierre Olivier-Joseph. So there's the four names that I have to watch out for, and they're the obvious ones. Legare, Joseph, Poulin, and Hallander. So like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Check out National Hockey Now, Pittsburgh Hockey Now. And if you're, a subscriber to my channel that is here from some of my other, crossovers that I've done, let's see, I've done a crossover with Twisted Wrister Hockey, Flying Fluffy, that's it. But still, go check out those Hockey Nows. Florida Hockey Now, San Jose Hockey Now, Detroit Hockey Now, Boston Hockey Now, Colorado Hockey Now. Go check them out. Great coverage, and, check me out on Pittsburgh Hockey Now as well. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Hockey's coming around here soon.